I'm a bit old school. I always get worried when people say, let us remove grade 7 exams. I'm so much against that. We need exams. The reason we need exams is to grade ourselves. So grade 12 certificate is a must-have. And don't be surprised, guys. This is not the first time this rule came into place. This rule was there when Michael Sata was standing as president. If you remember very well, they almost eliminated Michael Sata in the public opinion because a lot of people thought Michael Sata did not have a grade 12 certificate. Rupia Banda had a grade 12 certificate. If you remember, Rupia Banda got a PhD honorary doctorate from Rusangu University, which he refused to use as doctor. He accepted, he went to Rusangu, received it, but he refused to use it as doctor. He said he preferred to be called Arabi. Michael Sata had a grade 12 certificate. If you remember in 2016 elections, there are several members of parliament, I won't mention their names, who could not even stand in 2016 because they did not have grade 12 certificates. So this rule has been there. The grade 12 certificate issue has been there. You are required to have a grade 12 certificate if you are going to stand as member of parliament. You are required to have a grade 12 certificate if you are going to be president of the country. The challenge with this rule is that it has now gone to councillors as well.
As a minimum academic qualification, a grade 12 certificate or its equivalent. That's what the Constitution says. Minimum grade 12 certificate or its equivalent. If that is the case, then is ECZ going to accept those that go with a degree or a diploma or a master's degree or a doctorate degree?
Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media. If you are joining me for the first time, click subscription button and notification bell to be notified. This is Davi-tech-media, updating you.
All the people who are standing on August 12th for their presidential, parliamentary, or ward level elections are required to have grade 12 certificates. So if you've got distinctions in 5 or 6 subjects, you are safe. If you've got merits in 5 or 6 subjects, you are safe. The problem comes when we start talking about credits. And the rule is you are supposed to have 6 subjects, including English, on your grade 12 certificate. As I showed you, my grade 12 certificate has 7 subjects. I passed all of them. I won't tell you what my grades were. I will know my points were. Those of you that know me know I don't like to say such things. Even when my daughter passed to go to grade 8, I didn't tell you how many points she got, but I want you to know she was one of the best at their schools. So I don't really like to tell you, and I want you to be rest assured also that my grades on grade 12, I was in the top 20 the entire school out of 4 classes. I was number 18 the whole school. So that should give you a slight idea of what my grades were. So 6 subjects including English. So if you have no English on your grade 12 certificates, you cannot stand. This is the rule. And we are propagating a nation of rules, a nation of laws. If you have no English on any of your papers for grade 12, GCE or grade 12, I'll come to GCE shortly, you cannot stand. Period. Why? Because according to the law of Zambia, English is the official language of Zambia. So that is number 1. You need 6 subjects, including English, and at least 1 credit. So if you have 6 subjects, and those subjects, 5 of them are 7 or 8, and you got satisfactory on 5 of those subjects, satisfactory, okay, 7, division 7 or division 8, you got satisfactory, but your 6th subject is a credit. It doesn't say English has to be credit. English can even be 7, can even be 8, but you need a credit, then you qualify. This is at grade 12. By the way, guys, I wish I could tell you why. I probably shouldn't, because I would discourage some people. There's a reason why I wrote 7 subjects at grade 12. I will not tell you, because you see now with our levels of this, that, and the other, we need to be careful what we say, lest we permit young people to do certain things that we did without really knowing. But I would like you to know that there's one subject I dropped at grade 12, and I'm not so proud of that. So, are we clear? 6 subjects, they must include English. One of those subjects must be a credit. That's category number 1. Category number 2, if you want to stand as member of parliament, if you want to stand as president, if you want to stand as councillor, doesn't matter where, guys. Option number 2, 5 subjects, again including English. If you have no English, don't even think about it. Okay? I'll give you my opinion shortly. One of those 6 must be English. That was number 1. So one of those 5 must be English and at least 2 credits. So if you have 7, 8 in 3 of those subjects, or distinctions even, it doesn't matter. But at least, you know, Zambians get confused with the word at least. So if I'm holding this water, by the way, Aqua Savannah are not paying me to do this ad. If I'm holding this water, that's not even a good example. A bank account, when you're opening a bank account, the minimum balance in your bank account, that's your at least. So your account will not be closed when it has at least 250 kwacha. That's your minimum balance. So when they say at least a credit or a merit, that means you could have distinctions. Because some people were calling me, Movita, me, I have distinctions. Does it mean I am disqualified? No. When they say at least, they are saying that is your very bare minimum. So I want to clarify something here, and I want to put a caveat to this that I'm about to say now. Because this whole thing has happened over the weekend, and I'm going to get a press inquiry tomorrow from Examination Council of Zambia. And I will update on my page sometime tomorrow on this that I'm about to say right now. The constitutional ruling says that you are supposed to have a grade 12 certificate. What makes a grade 12 certificate? It doesn't say all levels only. It says grade 12 certificate. And according to the law of Zambia, if you fail your exams, let's say you got 2 credits out of 8 or 7, then the following year you went back and wrote the remaining subjects, and the presiding year, then the year after, you went and wrote another subject. According to the law of Zambia, when those subjects are 5, as long as they are 7, division 8 and above, and there are 5 subjects, according to the law of Zambia, you have a grade 12 certificate. I'll say it again. A grade 12 certificate is considered 5 O-level subjects or GCE subjects that you have gotten division 8 and above. It's a grade 12 certificate. A full certificate is 6 of those subjects. Okay? Now, there is a step you are supposed to take before you file in your papers if you are standing as a councillor or anything. You are supposed to go to Examination Council of Zambia with your papers. Whether you did Shibukeni, whether you went to Mumbwa like I did, you went to DK, it does not matter. You are supposed to put your papers. Remember, Examination Council is the mother body for all your examination entries. So you're supposed to go to Examination Council and submit, and there is a printout that they bring for you. Then you can amalgamate your qualifications, and they can put all of them on one. There are some fees to be paid. That is what you're supposed to submit together with your NRC, the party endorsement for you to stand as a candidate on a particular party. Again, this, I may stand corrected on this. I'll get a press inquiry tomorrow. But there is no way you are going to put together 12 pieces of paper from Chimbokaira Secondary School, Shibuken Secondary, Mperembe Secondary, Nkwad Secondary School, munapasamo Mansam, munapasamo English, and you attach those and you send them to Elections Commission of Zambia, Electoral Commission of Zambia, they will reject that, because that is changanya mixture. That's a buffet of qualifications, and they don't want you to do buffet of qualifications. Okay? They want you to send them certified copies. Am I making sense? They want you to give them certified copies of your credentials. Okay? I'm coming to GCE. Chembe says, can you repeat the statement on GCE? I'm coming to that very shortly. Okay, let me repeat it, because you might not be the only one. The law in Zambia, that's why GCE, General Certificate Education, is a legal entity within Examination Council of Zambia, which provides an option for you to be able to correct an anomaly that happened in secondary school. GCE is the intellectual equivalent of a girl child who fell pregnant in school and now can come back and write her exams. It is just as legal for that child who fell pregnant to come back and sit for an exam. There was a time being pregnant in school was totally illegal, but now you can come back to school and write. So GCE is the same way. It allows for those who may not have done well, maybe they were sick, maybe they were they were childish, maybe they were distracted, for whatever reason, we don't want to judge them. GCE allows people to either improve on their qualifications or to simply get it right. Once you get your GCE papers, you are supposed to submit these to Examination Council of Zambia, ECZ. Bear with me, there is ECZ, Examination Council of Zambia, and there is also Electoral Commission of Zambia. So bear with me in case we get the two interchanged. It's your responsibility to put these on one paper. Mine are on one paper. I have them here on one paper. Okay? It's your responsibility to put these on one paper before you stand. And I want to encourage you, you do have time to do that right now. Okay? Janet Tembo says, even if you have Changanya, ECZ combines result at a fee. If I'm not mistaken, it is 1,200. Absolutely, Janet. I'm not confirming the charge, but I know as well. ECZ, it is part of their mandate. Weston says, ECZ does not combine internal and external results to make a certificate. Only GCE results can compile, verify, and submit. Okay, so there is something we need to clarify here. I got a lot of calls today. Some people are worried that they don't have O levels. They didn't graduate with O levels like this, okay? And they got their results through GCE. Okay, again, I will get corrected if I'm wrong on this one. But according to the Constitutional Court ruling, and these are legal mindsets, I'm not a lawyer, but this is how lawyers think, okay? Mildred says it's 1,000 kwacha to combine. You see, there are people who have combined here. According to the law of Zambia, a GCE certificate with combined results that are 5 is equivalent to an O-level certificate with combined results. I've been an employer for several years, and we interview people at our jobs. We always ask people minimum grade 12 certificate. And I want you to know we have accepted many, many people with GCE results. Okay? And Brian says the law says grade 12 certificate or equivalent. So what is the equivalent of grade 12 certificate? It is GCE. Okay? Mumba. It is GCE. But let me also say there are some people in Zambia who studied in Zimbabwe, for example. They studied in America, for example. They studied in South Africa or any other country. Part of that law which says grade 12 certificate or equivalent could relate to some of those, because for example in Zimbabwe they do not have grade 12, they have A levels. So you then are supposed to submit those results to Examination Council together with transcripts of your curriculum and everything. Then they convert every college, every university has a department that translates qualifications from another country into the qualifications of that nation. So I want to reassure you all that your GCE certificate, if it qualifies and it has 6 subjects including English and at least 1 credit, then you qualify. If your GCE has 5 subjects including English and at least 2 credits in any of the 5, then you too can stand in August. Because according to the law of Zambia, a GCE certificate is equivalent to a grade 12 certificate. Man says Cambridge O level is also equivalent to grade 12. Absolutely. So we've got Cambridge O levels, we've got A levels, some A levels in certain countries, they are equivalent to grade 12, including a GCE. So we've sorted that out. Let's talk to those of you that don't have neither English, nor GCE, nor grade 12, but you want to stand politically. Raphael says, what of us Form 5? Raphael, Form 5 and grade 12 are the same. As a matter of fact, Form 5 ended, using the word Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, Form 5, ended around 1988, 1989. As I remember I was in grade 8 or grade 9 when they stopped using the word Form 1, Form 2. That's how they used to call us Forbo, from the word Form 1. Okay, so Raphael, Form 5 is the same as grade 12. Make sure your Form 5 certificate is certified by ECZ before you submit it to the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Okay, so I want to talk, I know there are a lot of wonderful comments. I don't want to stay too long on the live. I want to talk about those of you who want to serve politically, but you do not have these qualifications. I want to tell you right now, I am sorry, but this is the end of the road for you. And this law, I know there are some in one camp who feel that this law has been written targeted at them. This law happened a long time ago. This law, if I remember correctly, this happened in the 2015 constitutional amendment. This was part of the 2016 law that was signed at Independence Stadium by the President Edgar Lungu. But now, this interpretation by the Court, as we know, the Constitutional Court is the highest court in the land when it comes to constitutional matters, including this. So if you don't have English and you want to stand in 2021, don't waste your money. I am sorry. I am very sorry. And that's why I said there are many ways to serve. Me, I'm not standing. Me, I'm not standing anywhere. I'm not standing, but I'm very active. I'm not standing. I'm not standing anywhere, but I am very active in politics. I'm contributing to politics. So don't look at standing only as the only way to serve the country. Your wisdom is service. There are many ways you can serve this nation. So don't feel that just because you have been disqualified from contesting the elections in August does not mean that you can no longer contribute politically. You can go back and reload, realign, replenish, resuscitate, rekindle, reposition, rebuild, recoil, rewind, rewire in this case, and I'm not saying that with any disdain. You can rewire yourself and get ready for 2026. Because between now and 2026, you can sort out a lot of things. I want to say something here. I told you I'm very old school. I am a fundamental person. And I want you to know, you guys, I rarely talk about my education. I have other papers here. I've got the rest of my education. It's quite a thick file. But I rarely talk about my education, guys, because I feel that sometimes when I talk about education, people catch feelings. Okay? But I want to say right now that Our country, something has gone wrong with our philosophy for education. Ndalasha Moses says, Mr. Nawa is Bowman Kuwaya. No, I think Bowman will speak for himself. I don't know how many are Kuwaya. I think they will speak for themselves. But we shouldn't laugh at them. They are human beings. They've got feelings. Okay? Let's encourage them. Let us motivate them. Let us pray with them. Let us not laugh at them. You see, a trap that catches your friend today might catch you tomorrow. So Malawala says, Kuwaya chala diva. For sure, that's the truth. But there is a fundamental question and a point we must discuss as a nation. We have put so much emphasis on college degree that for me, personally, this ruling by the Constitutional Court, I salute to it, because when I look at all the colleges I've been to, all the universities I've been to, all the conferences I've been to, when I look at all the expanse of knowledge that I've drawn and derived and sucked in like litmus test, the greatest knowledge that I have ever seen in my whole life is secondary school knowledge. That is the greatest knowledge. Believe me, I still have some of my books from grade 12 in my own handwriting. The greatest knowledge I've ever derived, whether it was biology, talking about digestion system, the esophagus, whether it was physics, talking about the definition of work. Work is said to be done when the point of application of a force moves towards the direction of a force. Whether it was agriculture science and the what's this acidic test? There's acidity this side, and there's I've even forgotten some of those basics. The greatest knowledge I've ever seen in my life was secondary school education. So we need to go back to the basics as a country. We cannot have people with PhDs, but they failed grade 12. It's only Mary who was allowed to be pregnant without sex, yo. Only Mary. And some of you won't get that until next week. It's fine. But we cannot have these people. Remember, there was a university in Kabwe that was closed because they were literally selling PhDs. Thank you. Nkosha says acidity and alkalinity. Yes, thank you very much. What was that? PhD test, yes? Yes. Okay, we cannot have universities. There are people right now in Lusaka, in many universities all around the country. They are writing and going to school to get degrees, but they have paid other people to do those things for them. That is wrong, people. That is wrong. You cannot go to school to pay someone to do education for you. Sooner or later, people will discover that you are down, that you literally skipped a stage. And for this ruling of grade 12, as much as it affects some of my relatives, as much as it affects some of my party members, as much as it affects some of my best friends, this is a very good ruling. And this is the place where this nation has to start going to. And we have these people who, to tell you the truth, and I'm not trying to label anybody here, but to tell you the truth, some of the people we have had standing as candidates, that it says Newton's law of motion, for every action is an equal and opposite reaction. But some of the candidates who have stood to represent us, whether it's at ward level, at parliamentary, God forbid, even at presidential level. Hello, somebody. Some of these people, you have to ask yourself, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you had an interaction with education? I am not at all arguing that education is the most important thing in the world. Not at all. There is a member of parliament right now in Eastern Province. This man barely speaks a word of English. He barely speaks a word of English. But this man, a lot of people say he's done a lot of good work on the ground. So English in and of itself is not a measure of education. Okay? Someone says this ruling will put a lot of people kuwaya. It's okay. That's why we need examinations. We need to separate men from the boys, girls from women. We need to put a distinction. Albert Einstein was in a different mindset. Isaac Newton was in a different mindset. Sigmund Freud was in a different mindset. We cannot chaboka. Leadership ya boka maningi Mzambia. Leadership has become like Salaula. Anyone can just stand up and get up and say, I want to be a leader. No way, Jose. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. And if you skipped grade 12, go and fix it. We are not saying you will never be a leader. Go and fix it. Go and fix it. Then come back and serve. Why are you in a hurry? You are 25 years old and you are getting depressed because you now can't be a counselor. You are 25. Hello? How should I be feeling? I'm 45, yo. How should I be feeling? I should be depressed. I should be depressed. So, go and fix what you need to fix. Did they do this to fix somebody? I don't think so. This rule was set in 2015. Some of you, 2015, you were not even born. You were not even born in 2015. So you cannot say this rule was meant to punish you. You cannot say, I bind the devil. No. You don't need to bind the devil. Just go and rewrite your papers, fix your paperwork, and come back and do the right thing for this nation. This nation has to be fixed, and one of the ways to fix it is to eliminate all these fake degrees, fake diplomas, fake PhDs. We have people right now with PhDs but cannot solve simple basic reasons. That's why you have engineers with PhDs but cannot make a road. You have teachers with PhDs cannot even teach nursery school. You have motivational speakers with PhDs but they are depressed. You have pastors with PhDs but they are going to hell. Kuwaya muntu wanga. Wiseman says, can we measure education with leadership? Okay, that went. Let me see if I can get these comments on this other phone. So, guys, I just thought I should come to you and share with you those thoughts. This is not the end of the road for you. It's not the end of the world for you. But this country has to be fixed. There is too much corruption in the educational system. And this ruling, this is my personal view, is a very good ruling in ensuring that we cipher, we sift, tisefe, and we end up with the right quality of leaders, at least from the educational side of things. It doesn't guarantee many things, but at least it ushers us closer to what we want. Okay, Benzo says, I see even some of those stood and won in 2016 now pushed kuwaya. Ngabamu vikire ku Ministry of Education. Okay, so there's been a lot of comments. There was a comment I wanted to see. Isaac says the MP for Sinda English there is no. Manly says the country is developing and getting advanced. It's time we go the Tanzanian way, where A levels from 6 in national term schools is compulsory for all our cream best pupils for public university, etc. Okay. Margaret says the question goes to Edgar Lungu. Please, 1 hour. Let's find out more. Which question? Luyando says let them go back to school. Yes, they should go back to school. And we are not only sending some people back to school, we are also sending some people we voted for back to their compounds because they've not been good leaders for this nation. What if more than 5,000 government officials do not have grade 12 certificates? You can be a government official working in the government without a grade 12 certificate. There is no problem. But the moment you want to contest for public office, in particular those three, ward level, parliamentary level, and presidential level, then this qualification is needed. Let's get some more questions. How much do ECZ charge to certify the grade 12 certificate? I think it's 1,000 kwacha. I'm going to do a press inquiry tomorrow from Examination Council of Zambia, and I will get this information for you. Sydney says, Mr. Nawa, what is the relationship between education and leadership? Because leadership comes from God. Leadership comes from God. Wisdom comes from God, but you cannot leave everything in the hands of God. God throws rain on earth, but we must plant our fields. We must plow our fields. There is a relationship between your level of education and your success, but there's a greater core relationship between your attitude and your success. There are people who are educated, but they have bad attitudes. There are people with good attitudes, but they have no education. What you want to be is in the middle. How much do... Okay, we've answered that. It's 1,000 kwacha to certify, okay? It's just like this argument. Some people are saying 300 kwacha is too much money to stand as a counselor. But you have hair for 1,800 on your head. Sell your wig and go and raise nomination papers so that you can stand as a counselor. Okay? That's a good question. There's a good question here. Mr. Nawa, what about a nominated member of parliament? If a driver's license is required for you to drive on a road, therefore, a nominated member of parliament must have the same driver's license. Moses says, in addition to that, the Law Electoral Commission of Zambia must introduce exams for all candidates aspiring to be councillors, mayors, and MPs, and we need to ensure transparency in those exams. What do you think? No, we don't need a law from the Electoral Commission of Zambia. We just need no rigging. From the Electoral Commission of Zambia, we just need no rigging, longer voter registration processes, fair NRC issuance. That's it. Electoral Commission of Zambia, we can't trust them with our exams. We barely trust them with our voters' cards. So no to that. There is no. What about a nominated? I've answered that. Okay. Benson says, Margaret, Edgar Lungu is highly educated, 100%. He was at the University of Zambia, UNZA, which means he has the 5 O levels, because you cannot go to UNZA without 5 O levels. All right. Dennis says, in Iran, the minimum qualification for an MP is a master's degree. We don't need that in Zambia. We don't need a master's degree. Leadership must not segregate against those who can't qualify for a master's degree. Do you even know how much a master's degree costs to get? It's about 40,000 kwacha per year, and you need 2-3 years to do that. Where will my uncle who wants to be a counselor in a certain ward somewhere get 40,000 kwacha? So we don't need that. We don't need segregation. We just need efficiency. Summary again. You need 6 O levels. Okay? You need 6 O levels. And let me just go there. I don't want to make a mistake. Let's go there. Where are we? We are right here. You need 6 subjects, including English, and at least one of them must be a credit. Or you need 5 subjects, including English, and at least 2 of them must be credits. If you don't even understand this, at least, you probably don't even qualify. Sorry to say. Because this is where leadership starts. You know, the moment you start seeing kamungulu, if the kamungulu is too much in someone, start asking yourself, are we sure this person can really be a leader? Okay, if you can't just do basic communication, basic issues and understanding, then leadership, there is no. We have voted too many times for people who are qualified for this degree. He's got this. And we have forgotten one thing. And I want to propose to you guys, secondary school was one of the best 5 years of my life. It prepared me for leadership. Half the things I do today, I learned them in secondary school. Not in college, not in university.
If you are joining me for the first time, click subscription button and notification bell to be notified. This is Davi-tech-media, updating you. Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media.